So I ran into this problem the other day on my 2012 Ford F-150. I'm assuming it would work for any 2011 to 2014 models. Basically what was going on is when I would put the truck into park up on the instrument cluster, the P would never illuminate, and what that ended up doing is it ends up causing your dash lights to stay on, your battery ends up draining, and in turn your car's dead to you. So after doing a little research, what I found out is that the part that was causing this is this little snap action switch. As you can see, there's a little knob on the end of it that engages when the vehicle's in park. It hits this metal bracket and it will engage that, causing the vehicle to say it's in park. So as you can see right now, it's now illuminated with park. I took the whole dash apart, the center console apart, and got to the switch. It sits right in this little pocket right here, which I'll show in a second, and ordered a new part for it. It's actually made by DigiKey, and this is the part name of it. It's just a snap action switch. It's like $6, very cheap. When you get that, you're gonna end up wanting to cut these wires, butt splice it together and put it in. Luckily, after taking everything apart and messing with the switch a little bit, it seemed to work. As you can tell, that P is now illuminating up. So I figured I'd put this out there. I couldn't find any videos on how to do this. I found a few articles on kind of walking you through it, but no videos out there. So I'm going to show you how now to put the whole center console back together after accessing the switch, just so that it might help somebody out there. So the first part you're going to install back on is this white bracket. It slides right over the shifting knob and just kind of sets in place. Next piece to go on is the indication, letting you know whether you're in park, reverse, drive, or whatnot. And the third piece of this assembly also sits on top of there. There are no screws or anything with this. They snap all together to keep them in place. Now before you snap that down, you're going to want to take the actual handle and put it back onto the shifter, sliding these two wires through all of these pieces. You've got a white, brown, and black wire and a green wire. These are going to go through, and there's connectors underneath that you can plug these into. So once you bring them through, obviously brown, white, and black, go to the brown, white, and black connector. It has a little just push button on it when you're disassembling it to take it off. The green one is a little more tricky. Once again, it just slides on here, but you're going to need a small little screwdriver, something to get under there to be able to pop that off. Still very easy to do. So once you got all those wires put together, you're also going to want to make sure you put back in the lights that are part of this white piece here. There's two little bulbs. They just slide right in. There's no resistance on them whatsoever. Very easy to get in place. And then you can put all of this down. It'll all snap right into place. As you can see, it not hard to do at all. Once you have those in place, on the side of the handle there are two screws. They're pretty small little screws, and they use a T20 screwdriver to put them in. There's one that's right underneath the tow haul button. Secure that in place, and the other one goes on the exact opposite side. That in, secure that in place. Make sure it's nice and secure. It's in there. The next piece that is going to go on after you have the shifter assembly back in place is going to be the whole center console. It's a big piece that pops off all as one. There's really only 4 clips. There's one here, here, and then there's 2 underneath here that snap in back here. One thing I would suggest when you have everything off is clean all of this out. All of these pieces come apart. They come apart very easily, and I'll show you where the cup holders and stuff are in a second. And you'll see how easy that is also to kind of take apart and clean, because there's a lot of grime and dirt and coffee and everything else that gets spilled in there over time. Okay, so got it most of the way on. Like I said, those 4 clips, they are a little tricky to get in, so you're gonna have to use a little force, but be careful not to snap any of them where they go in here. Once you get it on there, the rest of it, just work your way around and make sure that it's all snapped into place. On the side of the handle, the shifter itself, you've got 2 caps, so when you take them off, just use a flathead screwdriver of some sort to pry underneath, but when they go back, they just snap right back on. And same with the other side. Now, one thing I am going to check is to make sure that all the gears light up properly here. So we got park, reverse, neutral, drive, manual, 1, 2, and they all line up. It all looks good. Okay, next piece you're going to want to put back on is actually the cover to the center console. So this is what holds in place this whole bracket. So you got to make sure that it's taken off. In order to do that, you're going to need a T27 screwdriver, and just there's 3 screws right on the inside of the glove box here, or center console. Screw those 3 back into place. And the 3rd one back in place. The last piece to go back in is going to be the cup holder and the rest of the center console. Like I said before, these pieces are all very easy to disassemble. Inside here, once you take it out on the bottom side, there's 4 screws for the cup holders. There's 4 screws for these little cups up on top, and this will all pop off, and then it'll further disassemble by taking the rings up here off. This can come off. There's stuff that gets grime that gets under there. The cup holders where they light up going around here, there is stuff stuck in there as well. It's all nice and cleaned up. I'm kind of anal about that stuff, so it's nice to have it all clean for once. I didn't realize it was that easy actually to take apart to start with. So you got to make sure your car is in neutral, or the truck's in neutral, to put this back on. There is one connector here that you'll see as you take this off. Just snaps right in underneath, and then this assembly slides in and secures right down. When you go to take this off, you'll feel a little gap on this side and on this side. If you pull on it, tug on it a little bit, it's just going to snap right up. Very easy to get in and out. And that basically concludes how to take care of that switch in there. I will put a link to where that switch is that I bought. Like I said, it's $6, pretty cheap, and some shipping to go behind it. And it'll probably save you a good couple $100 as opposed to going to a dealership, because they are going to charge you for this whole assembly, which the part alone is about 400 bucks. So hope this video helps somebody. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you may come along as you're doing this project. Thanks.